Now at 5, the Cherokee County Attorney's Office releases its criminal liability report about a standoff in Baxter Springs that killed 3 people. Plus, Pitt State launches a new program aimed at helping students facing obstacles. And
a newly released report is giving insight into the Georgia grand jury that investigated alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. I'm Natalie Brand with the other people they recommended be indicted, including a U.S. Senator.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Prosecutors say they will not seek charges on a Joplin police sniper who shot and killed a 2-year-old girl during a standoff in Baxter Springs, Kansas last year. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. The hostage situation happened last year in March and also claimed the lives of 2 adults. Police say Eli Crawford shot and killed 27-year-old Taylor Shute outside their home before going back inside with 2-year-old Cleslian Crawford. And when police later entered the home, they found both Eli and Cleslian Crawford dead. It was determined that the child was killed by a bullet fired by a police sniper. Cherokee County Attorney's Office has now completed its criminal liability review and has determined the fatal shot fired was not reckless, so the sniper will not be charged. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with your Friday night football forecast.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We had a nice Friday for us today. We got some rain across the region, at least scattered showers and thunderstorms late last night into the morning hours. Temperatures, though, pretty good. 79 Monette, 88 in Miami. We're at 90 in Chanute, so about a 10-degree spread across the region. And we still have the smoke out there, but it's better than what we have seen over the past couple days, and it will continue to get a little bit better. But mostly sunny skies, have a few clouds which are rotating through, but in general, all of our showers and thunderstorms down to our south. So as we go through the evening hours, if you are going out to any of the high school football games, it looks pretty good. We're going to slide back through the 80s into the 70s. We're going to have clear skies as we go through the evening hours. Of course, we're going to look at the weekend, all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Pitt State is starting a new program to help students adjust to campus life. Spark Wheel focuses on students who have been in foster care, are experiencing food or housing insecurity, are balancing parenting while in school, or face other barriers that might affect their educational journey. The goal of the program is to assess students' individual needs, help them set their goals, and check in with them each month.
You have the ability to improve your life through education, and we don't want, the lack of family support or the lack of stable housing to keep you from being able to achieve that degree.
Spark Wheel is a really helpful program, and I think every college needs to have it.
PSU is the first university with a Spark Wheel program. Residents in Fort Scott are doing a little cleaning ahead of fall. Today kicked off the city's annual citywide garage sale. Dozens of homes are selling their unwanted items, including furniture, clothing, electronics, and tools. Officials say they hope the sale will bring in lots of visitors.
And our hope is to not only provide locals the opportunity to find some deals, but to bring visitors to town from the region who will also hopefully shop at our restaurants, our local downtown shops and other areas, and fill up their gas tanks at the gas stations.
Most of the sales will continue through tomorrow. A special grand jury investigating efforts to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election results recommended charges for Senator Lindsey Graham, 2 former U.S. senators, and more than a dozen other people. Now, ultimately, they were not on the list of those charged by the Fulton County District Attorney. Natalie Brand breaks down the new developments.
So we're opening up Pandora's box here.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is not facing charges, but the Georgia special grand jury probing 2020 election interference thought he should have.
I voted to certify the election. To suggest I'm part of some grand scheme to overturn the election It makes no sense given my actions.
A newly released report details Graham and former Georgia Senators David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, along with former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, were among the people the grand jury thought should be indicted. Legal experts say grand juries use probable cause in deciding whether to recommend charges, but in the courtroom, prosecutors have to prove a defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
There is an additional process that goes on in prosecutors' offices before they seek charges, in which they analyze the evidence and decide whether it's in the public interest to seek these charges.
The report reveals the grand jury recommended charges for 39 people. The district attorney ended up charging 19 of them, including former President Trump. Trump's spokesperson called the grand jury, quote, biased, saying they voted to indict dozens of innocent individuals. The report also reveals the 23-person grand jury voted overwhelmingly to recommend Trump face the 13 felony charges that are part of his indictment. Members of the panel spent more than 7 months hearing from at least 75 witnesses. The grand jury recommended that its report be made public. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
President Joe Biden is meeting with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi ahead of the start of the G20 summit in New Delhi. The two leaders are looking to strengthen ties between their countries. India and the U.S. are also dealing with a common threat: the growing influence of China in the world's economy. Still ahead, trying to solve the teacher housing crisis.
There's a new way one school is rewarding teachers by building homes where they can live rent-free. I'm Bradley Blackburn with how it could help a nationwide teacher shortage.
And next in Health Watch, how the record-breaking summer is causing health concerns for older Americans. Topping today's Health Watch, it's National Recovery Month, and public health leaders are talking about a major step forward to prevent deaths from opioid overdoses. Naloxone, best known as the nasal spray Narcan, is now available as an over-the-counter medication after the FDA approved it for sale without a prescription earlier this year. The Department of Health and Human Services today held a demonstration of the life-saving drug.
Just like this. So we're going to dispense the Narcan into the nostril.
Naloxone makes it possible for us to save a life. But it takes you, it takes me, it takes us to make it happen.
CDC says naloxone saved 50,000 lives in 2019. Medical experts say it is safe to use even if someone appears to be overdosing but is not. Well, this summer's heat has been breaking records. It's also been raising health concerns for groups vulnerable to extreme heat, including older adults. Haley Ott has more.
Doctors stress keeping the elderly cool and safe when temps are soaring is critical to avoid heat-related illnesses. Older adults may not be able to notice the heat and adapt to it, according to geriatric specialists at Rush University Medical Center. We sweat less as we age, which slows the ability to cool down, and we become less sensitive to thirst, so we can already be dehydrated by the time we're thirsty. Common conditions in the elderly can make it harder to adjust to rising temperatures. Patients with diabetes, kidney disease, dementia, and depression can experience dehydration more easily. Some medications also make it harder to stay hydrated. On these hot days, older adults should keep water by their side. Avoid drinks with caffeine, sugar, or alcohol. Set a timer to remind to drink water, and keep a close eye on the temps inside and outside to try to keep your home between 68 and 78 degrees. If you have older loved ones or neighbors, be sure to check on them. Weakness and confusion are symptoms of heat exhaustion. Haley Ott, CBS News, New York.
Well, experts say if your loved one's home is too warm, have a plan to get them to a safe, cool space. Air pollution may have an impact on a baby's growth during pregnancy. Researchers in Europe found women exposed to higher levels of air pollution had babies with a lower birth weight, while women living in greener areas had babies with a higher birth weight. Scientists say there's also a strong relationship between birth weight and lung health, with low birth weight children at risk of developing asthma and COPD. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, what a new report shows about the value of the dollar on the world stage.
Plus, our weekend is looking pretty nice for us. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Friday for us today. We got some rain, at least a good chunk of the region during the morning hours, and then sunny skies this afternoon. It looks pretty good. We're going to set up for a nice evening. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, so if you're heading out tonight, high school football looks pretty good. We're going to have nice temperatures, about 80 at kickoff, pretty much clear skies, 70 by the fourth quarter, so fantastic weather for high school football. Also, the smoke has gotten a little bit better today. It's not quite as hazy out there, and as we go through the next 24 hours, you can see it continues to diminish just a little bit. It kind of shifts out across central and western Kansas. So that's good. At least our air quality is going to improve just a bit. All right, so at the airport today, only 0.13 of an inch, but some areas picked up some pretty good amounts of rain, about 1/4 of an inch for the month. We're still almost 11 inches behind for where we should be for this time of the year. But look at the showers, the thunderstorms that rolled through late last night into the morning hours. Pretty much we're out of here by about 10 or 11 o'clock, and you can see the stripe of the heaviest rain. So really just south of Chanute, right through really from Wilson County, Neosho County, Labette, all the way down through Cherokee County, Kansas, and then just skirting right on the southwest side of the metro through Neosho, all the way down toward Beaver Lake. So at least some areas picked up some decent amounts of rain. All right, temperatures not bad. 79 Monette, 85 Anderson, it's 90 in Parsons, it's 86 in Nevada, 7th the range line, currently sitting at 86. It feels like 84. The humidity is very low, dew point of only 51%, relative humidity at 30%. Few little clouds skirting through, but in general, we look pretty good. Any showers, thunderstorms we had earlier, these are down to our south. And if you look out toward the west, not a whole bunch going on. That means we're actually going to have pretty good conditions as we head into the weekend. So let's go through time. For us tonight, we drop back upper 50s to near 60, so it's going to be very comfortable. Saturday looks good, a light northeasterly wind. As we hit the noon hour, we're going to be into lower 80s. We get up to about 86, 87 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Stockton Lake, 88. Cassville, 85. Miami, 89, 89 in Chanute. Tomorrow night also looks good. We drop back near 60. Once again, upper 50s to near 60 degrees. And then Sunday, another great day. High temperatures, 87, 88 degrees. So pretty good as we go through the next couple days. All right, so 87 tomorrow, 88 Sunday. It's going to be warm, but it's going to be nice. We get a nice night Saturday night. We are going to have a few more clouds as we go into Sunday as our next wave rotates in on Monday. But look at our temperatures next week. 70s, 70s Tuesday, 70s on Wednesday to near 80. So it looks fantastic, especially early next week. 87 tomorrow, 88 on Sunday, 75 showers, a few thunderstorms on Monday, 78 Tuesday, 80 on Wednesday, 80 on Thursday. So we get a really nice stretch of very comfortable temperatures next week.
And if we can just keep them in the 80s by the end of the week, not get back into the 90s, that'd be preferable. Yeah. I love it. How long has it been since you've had a 10-day up there without 90s on it?
A long time, but we'll hit 90 again this year. So
we're not going to talk now. All right, thanks, Doug. Coming up, how one school is taking constructive steps to find and retain teachers. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the U.S. dollar is showing strong gains for the 8th week in a row. It's increased 5% since mid-July, hitting a 6-month high. This is the greenback's longest winning streak in nearly 9 years. The recent rally comes after concerns earlier this year the dollar was losing its status as the world's reserve currency. Well, schools nationwide are dealing with a teacher shortage, and low wages are a big part of the problem. But one school in Connecticut is trying something new by building homes where teachers live rent-free. Bradley Blackburn has the story.
A few blocks from the Friends Center for Children in New Haven, Connecticut, where kids are busy at play, work is underway on a place for their teachers to live. For 2 preschool teachers and their families, these 2,100 square feet will have the comforts of home at almost no cost.
They do pay their own utilities, but they have free rent.
Alex Schiavone says this housing helps solve a big problem: how to raise teachers' pay when schools don't have the budget for bigger salaries.
We take the teacher's salary and we add the benefit on top of it, which brings them to really a more professional and livable wage.
Next month, teacher Kristen Calderon and her 9-year-old son will move in next door to Paris Pierce and her 3 children.
I'm just in awe of what's happening.
The housing is valued at about $1,800 a month, the equivalent of a 50% boost in take-home pay. They say they can now build savings while living in a safe place.
I did spend a portion of my son's infancy homeless, and so security and having a home is a really big thing for us.
They're living in a brand new house.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. Not only is it a brand new house, but it's a house that they got to design.
They collaborated with Yale architecture students who are constructing the homes. 4 more are planned in a 2-acre teachers' village.
The most amazing aspect of it is it's a one-time investment. So we're paying for the house, and then we have that return for the teacher and for our program forever.
A blueprint they hope more schools and leaders will consider to build a future for teachers from the ground up. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New Haven, Connecticut.
Well, the school says the housing program will eventually save them $500,000 every year. It'll also help them effectively raise salaries for all teachers, even those who do not live in school housing. Well, Apple is urging iPhone and iPad owners to update their operating systems immediately. The company issued an update that fixes a vulnerability that hackers may already be exploiting. It was discovered by the Citizen Lab at University of Toronto. The security flaw exists in iOS 16.6.1. Experts say iPhone and iPad owners should immediately go to their settings menu and update their devices. The maker of an extremely spicy tortilla chip marketed as the One Chip Challenge is pulling the product from shelves. Pocky says the move is out of an abundance of caution after teens started participating in the challenge, which is meant for adults. Massachusetts family says their 14-year-old son died hours after taking part in the One Chip Challenge last week, though an official cause of death is pending an autopsy. Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, Steve Hartman brings us the story of a man on a never-ending mission of kindness and how it's changing lives. And then on KOAM News at 6, we'll have more on the impact of Pitt State's new Spark Wheel program. Plus, the city of Joplin provides an update on the West 32nd Street construction project. And it's time for some Friday night football. Sports director John Dales will speak with the head coach of the Joplin Eagles ahead of their game against Ozark. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Well, an adorable river otter pup that was rescued back in May recently cooled down on a hot day at a Maryland zoo by frolicking in a sprinkler. And that's just fun to watch. Footage from the Maryland Zoo shows the otter playing with and chewing on the sprinkler before swimming in a tub of water. The orphaned otter was approximately 40 days old when she was rescued by state park rangers. Since her rescue in spring, the zoo has been providing frequent pup dates on the otter's recovery. The zoo says the otter's weight has tripled since she was rescued. They have so much fun.
Yeah, but they can be a little mean, so you gotta watch out for them. So.
They can. It seems like anytime I go to a zoo where there's an otter, they love the attention.
Yeah.
And they just show off. Yeah.
Also bite you too. So.
Final weather note for us?
All right, the weekend looks pretty good if you're heading out for high school football this evening. Also looks pretty good. 87 tomorrow, 88 on Sunday. Some pop-up showers on Monday, but look at our stretch of temps. Pretty good most of next week.
Well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.